Hi everybody, thanks for stopping over here at Man Cake. My name is Dan, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a blueberry lime cake. Now, blueberries, fresh, juicy, sweet, limes, juicy, but tart, two completely different flavors, but that just blend together perfectly. Now the recipe is going to be super easy today, taking a lot of components that we've already made in past videos and really just tweaking it with these flavors that we really want to get into our cake. I was really happy with how this cake turned out today. Granted, the humidity was not a huge fan when it came to the buttercream, but we'll get to that later on in the video. Well, that's enough of me rambling. Let's go ahead and bake it up. To start, go ahead and preheat your oven to 390 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and get our bowl here on the counter. We're going to add in 1 1/4 cups of sugar, 2/3 cups of vegetable oil. Then we're going to go ahead and practice our one-hand egg crack by adding 2 eggs into our mixture. Then we're going to add 1½ tablespoons of lime zest. Then just toss in a 1/4 cup of lime juice. And for our dairy, we're going to use 1 cup of yogurt. Now for this recipe, I'm using Greek yogurt. And this is a non-branded Greek yogurt, so unfortunately, John Stamos will not be magically appearing in the kitchen. Now with all of our ingredients in our mixing bowl, we're going to go ahead and just whisk it up until all of our ingredients are nice and combined. With our wet ingredients nice and mixed, we're going to go ahead and add 2 1/4 cups of flour. Then toss in a pinch of salt, and then we'll add 4 teaspoons of baking powder. And then we're going to go ahead and whisk this up and get our flour really incorporated with our wet ingredients. With our batter completely mixed, we can go ahead and add in the blueberries. Now to make sure your blueberries all don't fall to the bottom, I like to cover mine in oil and flour. So we'll go ahead and just toss these in. And then with a mixing spoon, go ahead and fold your batter with your blueberries. This way we get kind of a nice, even distribution. Then we'll go ahead and just move this aside and go ahead and get our pan. Now today, I'm using a springform pan, lined with parchment paper, and the sides are just covered with butter. Then we want to go ahead and toss in our batter. And once our batter's in the pan, we can go ahead and bake our cake for 50 minutes. Now with our cake baking, let's go ahead and start our lime Swiss meringue buttercream. For our Swiss meringue buttercream, be sure to check out the Yummy Meringue Man Cake recipe over in the playlist tab. Sidebar, one thing I did not do, which most certainly led to the melting buttercream, is making sure our meringue was cooled before adding the butter. With your mixer, stand, or handheld, start gradually incorporating your 2 sticks of room temperature butter in slices. Once all your butter is in and smoothed with the meringue, add in the zest from 2 limes and 1 teaspoon of lime juice. Another sidebar, you can actually opt in and use lime extract. But since we already had 2 zested limes here, why not keep it fresh? Now with our meringue ready and our cake baked, we can go ahead and start decorating. Leveling your cake in 2 separate halves, place the bottom layer on your cake stand. Then, with our meringue buttercream, we want to go ahead and add a healthy layer onto our bottom cake. Once we have a thick layer of meringue buttercream, we can go ahead and add the top of our cake. Then, with our remaining buttercream, we can go ahead and cover the entire blueberry lime cake. And as you can see by the gooiness and how much this runs, it's clearly too hot in this kitchen for this buttercream. But we're gonna make it work. And now we're actually going to go ahead and take a break and let this cake with the buttercream sit in the freezer. Now with our cake cooled in the freezer for a couple minutes, we can go ahead and start piping on some buttercream. Okay, it is clearly too hot in this kitchen for this buttercream to stay exactly where we're piping it. But I do kind of like the melted candle effect that we have going on. Be sure to let me know what you think down in the comments. Maybe we just made a new thing, melted candle cake. Then, taking some fresh blueberries, go ahead and just sprinkle some around the top of the cake. Now, we can go ahead and decorate with our candied lime slices. For these little guys, I brought 2 cups of water to a rolling boil, mixed in 1 cup of sugar, and stirred in until the sugar was dissolved. And there you have it, simple syrup, so easy. Next, I took 2 limes, sliced them up, and tossed them into the syrup on a simmer for about an hour. Now, depending on how thick you like it, you may need to increase your time here. But once the rinds are completely translucent, just remove and set them aside until you're ready to decorate, which is now. So here's the thing, this cake is really just so delicious. I can promise you that. The buttercream in this heat might not even get this cake a Mr. Congeniality sash, but all cakes are beautiful, right? Sure, it may look like a melted candle, and yeah, it might look like I used it as a bumper seat while riding in the car, but trust me, if you love blueberries and if you love lime, you'll love this cake. Who knows? Perhaps we'll revisit this recipe when it cools down some. Well everyone, that's all the time we have for today, but thank you so much for stopping by, and thank you for letting me show you how to make a not so pretty, but still very yummy blueberry lime cake with a lime Swiss meringue buttercream. Until next week, bye!